Well, let's now delve into the aviation space because as British Airways limits its flight schedules on the Accra-London-Accra route owing to a shortage of staff, there are fears that this trend could see several other major airlines do same. For passengers from Ghana, this means a disruption in their business travel plans. But in the midst of these disruptions have arisen concerns about the state of Ghana's quest to have a national carrier. Even though Cabinet in 2021 granted policy approval for establishing a new flag carrier, efforts to get a strategic partner remain flawed. Joining me to discuss is Sean Mendes. He is an aviation expert who was in active service during the initial interest by government to scale a national carrier, and he's joined us for more. Sean, grateful to have you. Let us start off with a cursory look at summer passenger traffic and the peculiar shortage of staff hitting global airlines. How does this impact numbers in Ghana's aviation space?
Thanks for having me, Charles. It's not going to be a pleasant summer for anyone planning to travel this year, unfortunately. Especially in Europe and North America, airlines are suffering from a significant lack of staff. People had been laid off or furloughed during the COVID pandemic. And now that things are recovering, it just takes time for them to completely ramp up. And a lot of trained personnel and skilled personnel have allowed their licenses to lapse, allowed their security clearances to lapse. And it's simply not enough time to get everybody in place in time for the summer. So British Airways is one of the most affected by this. They've had to cut about 25 to 30% of their long-haul flights during the summer. So that's routes from Accra has been reduced from 7 to 5 times a week. And you're seeing similar cuts everywhere from India to the US to Brazil and throughout British Airways' network. And that's going to be a significant impact on them, but also going to be an impact on passengers. It's not unique to British Airways. KLM has been having a real nightmare over the last few weeks because they have shortage of baggage loaders at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. So I'm sure a lot of people who've traveled on KLM in the last few weeks, I know a few, have been stuck without their bags because they simply don't have enough people to load them on planes. Air France is having problems because workers at Paris Charles de Gaulle have been striking, as the French tend to do every summer. So once again, you're having disruptions there. So this is going to be a very operationally challenging time for travelers, but also it's going to be a very expensive time for travelers. Fuel prices have really escalated due to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Prices are up about 10 to 15% just because of fuel. In addition, there's additional demand in summer every year, which combined with the reduced supply due to these schedule cuts means that prices will increase even further on routes like Accra-London, where the demand really peaks during the summer. However, this can be mitigated, traveling via the Middle East, Emirates, Qatar Airways, Turkish Airlines, indirect flights, taking stopovers, flying in the midweek, not flying on the peak travel dates. There are ways for passengers to travel smart, and if you hunt for the right deals, they are there to be found.
Indeed, indeed. But of course, you see these developments unfold, Sean, and you just ask yourself, what happens to Ghana's quest for a national carrier? You deal a lot with deep throat sources in Ghana's aviation space. What are you gathering?
Well, the whole National Airways project seems to be a bit of a boy who cried wolf. It's been 18 years since Ghana Airways shut down, 12 years since Ghana International Airlines shut down, and every year, regardless of who the minister in charge of the sector is, we hear the same story over and over again. So, I don't see the need for a national carrier, but yes, the conversation's out there. The government seems to be looking at a range of new potential strategic partners, none of whom seem to be currently operating airlines. So these seem to be more investment partners rather than technical partners. I think we shall see what happens. We've had many deadlines laid over the last 12 to 15 years, and all of these have passed. So maybe this will be the one that comes.
Great. But in less than a minute, how then do we stem the tide, considering the current global operational challenges?
Well, the real opportunity right now is for Ghana to consolidate its position as the true gateway to the West African region. Ghana is the destination that most international airlines choose when they want to start service to West Africa. There are 27 or 28 international airlines in Ghana, which is more than anywhere else in the region, more than Lagos, Dakar, Abidjan. And this is because, despite all the talk of a national airline, the government of Ghana policies are actually quite welcoming. If they can liberalize the visa regime, making it easier for tourists to come to Ghana, and if they can liberalize the airport tax regime, making it more competitive for passengers originating or transiting through Ghana. Right now they're paying $150 to $200 per passenger. It'll make Ghana even more attractive. And, if you're looking to spend taxpayer money, this is the way you should spend it to benefit the entire sector rather than chasing pipe dreams of a national carrier again.
Of course, as always, we're grateful for your submission. Sean Mendes, an aviation expert. You're watching Business Live.